Hello, eBay sellers. My name is Stephanie Garcia, also known as Mama Breaks, and I'm here to talk to you about social media and why it's beneficial to your business. So before we start, I want to share a little bit about me and my story. I started collecting trading cards again about 3 years ago after a long hiatus of collecting when I was a kid. So I started collecting Pokemon cards when I was about 8 or 9 years old. And slowly, as I fell in love with the game of baseball and played softball a little more competitively, I realized that there were also baseball cards, and I was opening packs from Walmart chasing my favorite Dodger players. When I started collecting again about 3 years ago, we were in the middle of quarantine and I was teaching from home. I caught wind that trading cards were becoming more popular again, and I went straight to the internet to learn as much as I could. And one thing that I found was that there wasn't, and even to this day, there still isn't much information out there about the community that surrounds trading cards and exactly how everyone buys them and sells them and so many different ways of participating in it. You couldn't just Google search that. So, talking to a few people that were in collectibles, someone told me that the best place to buy cards was actually on eBay. So that's the first place I went. And around the time it was my stepfather's birthday, so I thought as my first card, I would purchase a basketball card for my dad for his birthday. And I did that, and I made sure I messaged the eBay seller and told them that it was a gift for my dad, and he was a Michigan State alumni, so he liked Michigan State basketball. And free of charge, that seller sent me all kinds of different cards from different sets of Michigan State basketball players. And that's where really I just fell in love with trading cards. I started buying more on eBay, but that initial reaction to learn more on the internet was, to me, an amazing opportunity to start a social media page where I shared my experiences and shared what I was learning as I went. And slowly, that social media page and the success that I got from it has helped me turn this hobby of collecting trading cards into a business that I now call Mama Breaks Sports Cards. So one quote that I want to share with you before we begin is from the book 1,000 True Fans, is that 1,000 true fans multiplied by $100 income per fan equals $100,000 in income every year. So if this number looks great to you and for your business, I hope that this resonates with you, is that you don't need a lot of followers on social media, but you need at least 1,000 true and engaged followers. And I'm going to talk to you about how social media can help you do that. 4 main points I'm going to cover today is what is social media, 2, visibility, how social media helps you boost your presence and reach, engagement on social media and how that helps you serve your buyer, and 4th, building your tribe on social media and how important that is to brand loyalty. So, social media, what is it? By definition, it's a website or application where people can use to create and share content. Content can be in many different forms, which are images, and like we know now, it's a lot of video. For the purpose of building relationships and networking with others, social media is about building relationships and networking. I really want to put that point across to all of you today. So, tip number 1 is use social media to boost your presence and your reach for your business, for your product or service. A way that social media helps you increase your reach is by a very popular term that we have now all learned, is going viral. Going viral allows for people who may have not known about your service and may have not known that they needed it or ever discovered it. And going viral helps you capture the audience, but after that, it's up to you to serve that audience and keep that audience and lead traffic to your store, to your eBay store especially. Social media helps you tell the world about your brand. We spend so much time on our phones today. And everyone around us, we're always on our phones. Before, businesses had to pay to be on television. Today, you can tell the world about your business and brand from the palm of your hands. And I would even argue that people don't watch television as much anymore as they do scroll through social media. So making sure that you have a presence on social media really helps you stay top of mind in your category. I challenge you to think of your category, your business, the product or service that you provide, and think of who comes first to mind. What brand or business comes first to mind in your category, besides you, of course, and ask yourself if that brand or service business has a social media presence, and I would guess that they do. After every tip, I'm going to give you an example of ways that you can do this. So how can you build your presence and your reach online? And one type of content that I enjoy to post that I think does a really great job at this is posting the wow factor of your business. So creating a reel or even posting a picture that really helps people learn about the wow factor of your business really helps spark interest and questions about your product or service. For example, yes, I do sell trading card singles online, but a primary part of my business is breaking. So what breaking is we essentially open packs of cards for people online. I've done this on eBay Live as well. And the actual form of breaking is just buying a case of baseball cards where we facilitate how to separate different spots in that case break. And most of the time, especially for sports, it's by team. So instead of going out and buying one box of cards where you never know what you're going to get in boxes of cards, but instead of buying one box, you can buy a specific team, and we facilitate that. That's the service that we give. And a wow factor of our business is potentially pulling some really amazing and super valuable card from this. So in this particular video that I posted about a month ago, I said here with the title, so you want to make sure that you grab attention right away in the first 2 seconds. It's wait for the one of the best cards you have ever seen. And in this particular post, you can go back and watch it. It's the most beautiful Mike Trout card I've ever seen, because not only did it have his hard signed autograph on the physical card, it was a one of one, only one of them were made. It also had a patch of his jersey that he wore during a game where he hit a home run, because that authenticated card tells you that as well. And it was actually the Angel logo. So there's so many different things that goes into what makes a card collectible, or any collectibles, as you know, but it was a really beautiful card. And the reason why this particular post did well was because I think it really established the wow factor of my business, and it got attention. But I really want to make sure that everybody understands that going viral is definitely exciting. It's definitely what gets you out there and promotes reach and helps the algorithm. But once you go viral, you have a responsibility to make sure that you're keeping those people who engaged, who liked and followed because of the post, by becoming a welcoming teacher and really providing value on your social media page in the form of being fun or teaching. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in my next tip. So tip number 2 is use social media to engage by serving your buyer and their needs. So this is the most important reason why social media is important for growing your business, is it really helps you engage with your buyer. Every social media platform, for the most part, once you go from an individual account and create a creator or a business account, gives you access to a lot of information based on the content that you share. So social media platforms provide detailed analytics, like who particularly is liking and engaging with your content. Where are they from? So many different important things. And you can use this data to learn about your buyer and focus on them and their needs and create and share with them. As you know, this is such amazing information that you get just by posting every day. But you can't get this information if you're not posting consistently either. But you can really have it help shape your business and, provide new products or services. So there's so many different reasons why grabbing analytics from social media helps your business. Second is comments, likes, and shares. So I'm going to be talking a little bit more about these in this subject in the slides to come, is building that human relationship with your buyers. So creating content for people who want your product or service online, it helps create excitement for engagement. You build connections and you network. And you need to make sure that you're making your following on social media fun or necessary by providing content that's entertaining or necessary because you're teaching them about something and they're learning from you. So one thing that you're going to realize for the rest of my presentation and now is that I do not focus on followers. Followers are great, but engagement is the key here. And last but not least, it's direct messaging. So we're human beings. No one wants to be sold to on social media. So running ads, definitely there is a lot of benefits that you can have from that, but you have to use it a little more strategically and not have your social media only be ads. Okay, because you need people to follow you because it's entertaining or necessary, like I said before, and you want people to feel connected to you. And you can use direct messaging for sales and customer service, and you can make it to help your buyer feel heard. So maybe sometimes messaging you through eBay is not always doesn't feel as personal, but maybe somebody buys something from you, then they tag you on their social media and their story, and you can just direct message them and to say thank you, I appreciate you for the post, and develop a relationship there where you ask them questions about, how was asking for direct feedback on social media, how was the product shipped, did you like it, what did you not like about it, and those are just so valuable. So one example of something that I like to post on my social media that I think is a great example of that is, so when I pull great cards for people, I share it and really just highlight the person that I pulled it for, like I did here. So we pulled it for none other than Jason cards here. This is one of the biggest cards out of the most recent Star Wars trading card set. Is an Ewan McGregor signed Obi-Wan Kenobi card, Superfractor, 1 of 1. And this is also a wow factor, but it's also just showing appreciation to a buyer and celebrating something great that happened out of my product and service. So another thing that you can see here that I have examples of is I make sure to reply to every single comment on each and every one of my posts. Now, this is the best way to make your buyer feel heard and connected to you. You definitely don't have to do it right away. I know we're really busy. Sometimes it takes me a few weeks to go back and comment and reply to everyone. But I really want to make sure everybody realizes that social media, this is for human relationships. And where that helps you sell your product or service, that's the reason why, because you're building relationships with people. And tip number 3, build your tribe. These are the positives, okay? Number 1, negative feedback. I know what you're thinking. How is negative feedback a positive for my business? I'm going to tell you it's positive for 2 reasons. Number 1, you need negative feedback to grow. You're going to see that once you're consistently posting online, especially if you're very open about everything that you do and who you are going to get people who do not like you, and that's okay. There are 2 forms of negative feedback. It's constructive negative feedback and not very constructive at all negative feedback. You have to be able to differentiate the 2, ignore the latter. And believe me, you not only will ignore the latter, if you do everything else right, if you're authentically yourself and you attract those buyers that believe in you and your values, those people will go up to bat for you against those people if necessary. But a lot of the times you just ignore that. But the constructive negative feedback is what helps you grow. If it helps you grow and get better at whatever it is that you need to get better at. So 2, emotional connection. I think personally for me, this just makes it a lot more worth it to do what I do. You really go back and look at what the why of your business and why you do it and how you're helping people. Particularly for my business, you know, live breaking is a very social thing. I make sure that as a breaker, myself and the breakers who are part of my team, that we are ambassadors for what we do in our category and teaching and making sure that everybody feels like they belong and are welcome and are learning as much as they can. And making sure that they realize that we're there for them. And if cards is what makes them happy, it's what makes us happy. And that's what we're here to do first and foremost. So, of course, both of those things create repeat business, which we all want. And then it helps competition because once somebody has a personal connection with you and your business and has had a great experience, even though another person's going to be selling the same thing you are, they're more likely to go back to you. And last but not least, these last 2 points is you build your tribe by being authentically you. How easy is that? It's not actually very easy to be yourself online. It's something that you grow into and you learn over time. But the more that you post, believe me, you will be more comfortable being yourself. And this is how you gain trust. Remember when you're posting on social media that you're not posting for everyone. You don't need everyone to like you. You need those 1,000 true fans to like you for you to build the successful business that you hopefully fall in love with. So, and these again are examples of just me engaging with my community and people who have commented on my posts. These are a few examples of things that I post here. If you see this right here, these are just kind of explanations of who I am and my story, and just very much cards that I love and think are beautiful there. And use links to drive traffic to your eBay store. And I'm going to share a few statistics with you that hopefully really helps resonate the importance of social media to build your business. Is 71% of consumers who have had a positive experience with a brand on social media are likely to recommend the brand to their friends and family. So I need to address this picture here. I have a baseball card in the most recent Topps Big League set for kids. So a lot of what I do is post about, you know, doing things at card shows for kids, because I believe there's a need to teach more and be more welcoming to kids at card shows. And posting about this on social media is, I believe, what got me this opportunity right here. And I'm able to have my own trading card. 63% of consumers believe that businesses should offer customer support on social media channels. Like I said, people are just a lot more comfortable using the platforms that they use daily or the most to engage and ask questions to the businesses or that they buy from. And 64% of consumers cite shared values as the primary reason for their relationship with the brand. And again, this is those who, you know, believe in what I believe in as far as being there, creating more positive experiences for kids in this industry, in the hobby that I work in. I was a middle school teacher before I decided to do this full time. So it's definitely, I get a lot of teachers who resonate with my journey and my experience that they would have really never known about if I wasn't so open about sharing it on my social media pages. And this is Gary Vee, someone who I learn a lot from about these different things. I actually told Gary Vee this. I got to meet him a month ago at the National Sports Collectors Convention. Someone from V Friends actually reached out to me to give me this opportunity, which I'm extremely grateful for because I've been posting so much about cards and online. Is that Crush It is one of the books that I first read. Gary Vee shares some pretty amazing stories about people who have grown their businesses through social media. So if you want to check that out, Crush It by Gary Vee is a really great one to get you started. And key takeaways here that I hope you all take from my presentation today is boost that social media is very, very important for your business. It helps you boost your presence and your reach. You can use it as a tool to better serve your buyers, and it ultimately helps you build trust and loyalty by just sharing authentically who you are. And thank you very, very much for listening to my presentation. I really appreciate all of you. And if you have any questions, please join me for the Q&A right after this.